Hi, this is David McCann for WebTNG. This video I'm going to do an experiment. I'm going to try to use AI to create some ACF blocks. As you know, one of the challenges of using custom post types and custom fields is displaying those on the front end. And the Dynamic OOO team has released an MCP server plugin for WordPress called Novamira. It allows you to connect your website with an AI agent. So I'm going to test that out and see if I can have the AI agent create some ACF blocks that we can use in the site editor to create the single and archive templates. So this is the website for Novamira. It has some quick start docs. You can download it from GitHub or download it here. I've already downloaded it. And there are a couple of videos on the Dynamic OOO YouTube channel also showing how to get started with it. And then this is the website I'm using for testing. It's being hosted locally on DDEV on my Mac, and you can see I've got ACF Pro installed and I've got two custom post types. And if we go to book authors and look at one, here's the title, the content, the featured image. And then here are the custom fields. There's a URL field for the author's website. There's a date field for the date of birth, the author's birthday. There are then some links to the author's social site on Instagram and Twitter in this case, but every author has different links. I'm just having them being placeholders to go to the main URL. But this is an ACF repeater field, and it has the social site name and the link to the social site. And then this is a book author relationship field. So this author has these three books. So that's a relationship field. The repeater field and the relationship field, those are advanced fields for display. So this isn't an easy softball attempt for AI. I'm going to go to the plugins and upload this plugin and activate it. So here's ACF Pro, WP Vivid Backup, and Novamira. Right, so we get an admin menu up here. If we go to configuration, the first thing we need to do is create the application password. So I'm going to call this ACF Blocks for the project. It gives us this password. You may want to copy this, and it's secret, so I'm working on localhost, and I'll delete this after we're done with the video, but gives you code snippets here and instructions for different AI options. So I'm going to go with Claude Code and copy this snippet. Then go to settings, and these are the abilities that it has. Pretty full abilities, so that's why it has a security note that you want to run it on a staging or testing development environment, that you should have backups and things like that. So I'm going to enable it. You'll see this is the server. The website that I showed you is called AI Testing. It's the only one running using DDEV on Mac. And then this is our shell. I'm going to run Claude, and I'm going to paste in that snippet that Novamira gave us to add the MCP server. And it's asking me if I want to proceed. It's saying restart Claude so that it's available. So I'm going to exit and then run Claude again. The next thing then that I want to do is we want to give Claude a prompt to tell it what we want it to do. Let's see, is running on the dev, and so here we go. Using Novamira MCP. I think it's actually called WordPress. I think that's what I saw. WordPress. Using the WordPress MCP, the website AI testing is running on DDEV and has 2 custom post types created using ACF Pro, audio books and book authors. The 2 custom post types are connected by an ACF post relationship field called book author relationship. I want to create ACF blocks for the custom fields that can be used in Gutenberg, both with the post editor and the site editor. That means if the block is added in the single template, it will use the post ID to pull the fields, and if it is used in a loop, it'll use the post ID from the loop. Let's say context. Let's start with the book authors custom post type. See, I give it the slugs, custom post type, and the fields. So create 4 blocks. The author birthday block should display the date of birth with an option to set the date display using PHP date format. The block should have option to input prefix text and postfix text, to optionally go in front or to be appended to the date of birth. The author website button block outputs a button that has an input for button text and uses the author's website custom field for the link. This block should also have a block option to allow the button to be text aligned left, center, or right. The author social links block, which outputs a list of links, one for each social media site's subfield. The link text should be social site subfield, and the link should be social site link. Okay, so maybe this shouldn't say subfield, maybe this should say social sites repeater field. The book authors block that outputs a list of the author's books from the book author relationship field in a grid with the book featured image and book title. The book featured image and title should be wrapped in links to that book post. There should be a block option to set the height and width of the book featured image. Height and width of the book featured image in pixels. The book author's book block should have an option to set how many records to show per row. When placed inside a group block, the book author's book block will adjust to the width of the group block. A limitation of site editor is it doesn't have the post ID record for context when creating the single template, and as a result, no preview is rendered in the site editor. So in that case, where there is no book author post ID context, use the post ID for the first book author record. Save these blocks in a plugin in the AI testing site named Book Authors ACF Blocks. Okay, so that's my prompt. And I've been working on this. So let's go back to Claude. I think the thing to do is put it in planning mode. And then I'm going to paste in the prompt. And let's see what happens. I'm going to write down the time just to have an idea how much time this takes. See, it's running Explore agents to look at the WordPress site, and ACF block patterns, and the WordPress block API. When there are long sessions like this, I'll speed them up, and when I get prompts, I'll go ahead and accept them so that we're not spending 15 minutes watching the screen kind of do nothing, but I am going to keep track of the time so that we see how long it takes. So it has been Let's see how long so far. It's been 16 minutes, and Claude has a plan. Here it's telling the plan. Let's go up here. So it's got the plan. It's using the right site. Talks about the fallback to the first record, the 4 blocks with the type, with the field type, plugin location, file structure, block registration, ACF blocks, block options, block fields versus post fields, date raw value, context, inspector controls. All right, so now Claude has written up a plan and is ready to execute. Would you like to proceed? I'm going to say 2, and I'll check the time again. So I think we're done. But the moment of truth is going to be when we go to the website plugins. Here is the plugin. It activated it. Let's go to the front end. This is what the author archive looks like by default. So there are no custom fields there. And here is the single. Okay, so let's go to the site editor. See if these blocks work. Let's go to templates, add template. Let's add the archive for book author. And we'll use this one. There are no taxonomies, so I can get rid of that block. There are no categories, so I can get rid of that one. But let's add read more. And after this block, let's try adding the author birth date lock. Wow, so it pulled in the author birth date. Let's see if the prefix text works. On this day, an author was born. All right, well, so let's just go. So that's working. Let's just say born on. And then let's save this. And let's go to the front end and see how that looks. All right. Yep, see that's pulling in the author's birthday. Very awesome. Let's go back and do the single now. Let's add template for author single. Okay, here we go. I guess we'll try this one. Like I said, there are no categories. So let's delete that one. But after the title, let's add that birth date again. Whoops. Author birth date. And we'll go born on. Okay, and then after this one, let's add, well, actually, let's add a column block. And in this column, let's add the featured image. That's a WordPress thing, not showing the featured image there. Then let's move this block over there and this block under it. Okay, and then let's add after the author website button. Visit author website. And let's see if that works. Huh, it does. Awesome. Okay, we'll leave it left aligned though. Then we don't have any tags either, but let's try this. What was that called? The author books. I think we might need to look at the list. Author books, there it is. All right, and so it's showing there. So we say width 200. Let's try width 150. And oops. And height 220. All right. And it's only showing, we say show 3, but it's only showing 2, and I wonder if that's because they won't fit here. Yep. All right, that's awesome. All right, so that's working. Let's save. Oh, there's one more field. Let's see, where are we going to put it? Let's put it after this one. And that is the social links. Is that going to work? Yep. So now let's save. And let's go to the front end. So here's the author archive, and it has the author's birthday, and you can see it changes. It's different for each author. Okay, and if we go and look, here is this author. She has Instagram and Twitter. Let's see if that, yeah, that goes to X. And let's see if this is working. That goes to her website. So those are working. That's great. Here are her books. And that goes to the book single. We didn't set that up yet, but that link is working. Let's look at another author. Let's try George R.R. Martin. Okay, he has Twitter, Facebook, and Reddit. And there's his website. And there are his books that we have. All right, so this is awesome. The blocks are working well. So we've done the demo. Let's have some discussion and conclusion and talk about what this all means. I tried several experiments before making the video. And during one of those experiments, I didn't have the Novamira MCP set up correctly. And in that experiment, Claude just used the file system. It didn't use the WordPress and site context that Novamira facilitates. And in that experiment, the blocks didn't work. The custom fields didn't show. So I think having those contexts that Novamira provides makes a big difference. In terms of the prompts, when working on the prompt, I noticed Claude used its previous research. So the time required, for example, for the second try, when I was correcting the prompt and refining the prompt, was much less than the first try. And what that told me was that Claude was building up its own references and library as it went along, and that was more efficient. For the video, of course, before starting, I removed the Novamira plugin, its MCP setup, and had Claude delete the previous projects and research so that it was starting fresh. From the time of pasting in the prompt to the finish, it took just under 19 minutes, which included accepting a couple dozen prompts to continue. This is much faster, of course, than coding those ACF blocks on my own, but I think it's important to disclose or show the time that it takes, because sometimes when people see these miraculous AI videos, it looks like it happens in 30 seconds. Now, a lot has been made about quote-unquote AI slop being insecure. As you noticed, a couple of the blocks that were created accepted text input. The author birth date block and the button block. And so I took a look at the code and I was pleased to see that the text input had been sanitized. So at least in this case, the AI agent was following best practices. My overall impression on testing and working with AI with Novamira and Claude is that it can be a real time saver. And if you know what you're doing, you can get a good result after some experimentation and some back and forth. But it's probably not quite ready really for prime time. I imagine in 6 to 9 months it will be. In terms of AI's impact on WordPress site building, WordPress has always been a platform open to do-it-yourselfers and power users. The proliferation of AI integrations is in line with that history. But people who are building simple sites with AI and forego the content management of WordPress, they'll probably have an update and maintenance nightmare in the future when they want to make changes. And people who don't know WordPress well, but build more complex sites with WordPress using AI, will also face update and maintenance trauma. So I think the need for WordPress professionals isn't going to go away. However, the way people build sites with WordPress is rapidly evolving. How we build websites 2 years from now will be very different from how we operate today. We're just in the beginning of this transition, so I think that it's a good idea for site builders to be paying attention to what's going on, but to know that the dust hasn't settled yet. And one more conclusion. The team who created Novamira did a great job. It was much easier to set up the AI integration than some of the other options that I've tried. And as I mentioned, having the context available made a big difference in the final output. Novamira is a free, bring your own AI solution that's worth checking out. So that's my experimentation, creating some ACF blocks using Novamira MCP and Claude. I hope you found the video interesting and that you learned something. If you did, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.